This is going to be a disaster. I'm telling you right now. Maybe it's one of those where it's such a disaster right out of the gate that
it can only go up from here.
Awesome.
It can only go up from there.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Mike and T-Roy is here. How are you, T?
Hi.
How you feeling?
Like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like shit.
It happens.
But here we are.
Yeah. It's been a little struggle behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
I'm not at 100%. I feel like he's back here now.
Yeah, when you're cloudy, and just a hair off,
yeah,
it can really rattle a whole lot.
It really,
things,
yeah, it affects production for sure.
It's like it's like an airplane checklist around here when you start. It's like you've got your list of things you need to make sure are flipped on and.
Well, we had a small technical issue beforehand, which kind of kicked me sideways a little bit, but
it throws us all off.
I think we're good.
I think we're recording. Are we live?
I think so.
Can people see us?
I hope so.
I think we're gonna move the D-Fast show. I think I want to talk to Henson on Monday.
Okay.
After the Lions win their third straight game, because I want to hear what he has
right
to
in
say.
his face.
And while I don't feel great, you feel worse, and I feel that's only fair to not make you do two shows today on a Friday. But anyway, welcome to the show. We'll do our best today.
Yeah,
as we always do. It is getting fucking cold here. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it snowed a little bit.
Not as bad as Buffalo.
No, I know. I've got a story about that. Emergency declared.
Holy cow, dude.
In Buffalo.
Insane.
I would think Buffalo would know how to handle
no
matter what.
Yeah, but they're talking 6 feet.
Yeah, 4 to 6 feet.
Yes. I mean,
which means they'll probably get 4 to 6 inches.
Possibly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. Those things never seem to pan out the way they are. But 6 feet is
6 feet.
Life-changing snow.
Yeah.
Nothing, even Buffalo.
But of everywhere in the country, Buffalo, New York, they deal with what we have on the west side of the state, lake effect.
Yep. Right.
They get that lake effect snow coming into western New York, and it's bad enough that they moved the Bills game.
Yeah.
Bills-Browns game this weekend is moved to Ford Field because obviously, which is a little weird because the Lions are playing in New Jersey, and you'd think.
Yeah, they're not going to get that snow, though.
They're not going to get that lake effect.
No, they're not going to get that much. And if this was 2 feet, they would have kept it. But the fact that they're going to have to declare an emergency, state emergency for it, or local emergency, whatever.
What was it originally? 2 to 3 feet they were talking about?
Yeah.
And so they were planning on keeping everything copacetic. And then
the models keep showing more and more.
Yeah.
They're talking about 4 to 6.
Right.
That's a whole other story.
Which just lines up perfectly for nothing.
Yeah, right. Generally
what I mean?
speaking, exactly. The snowpocalypse that never comes.
Yeah, and it's fun. I hated that Lions-Eagles game, I think it was, in Philly a few years ago, where they got dumped with snow. I mean, it was like a foot and a half deep on the field, and the Lions played a really good first half and then blew it in the second half when the snow really fell.
Yeah, you go in and warm up at halftime, then you got to come back out and get cold again.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even that. It was that they got so much snow, sort of.
Well,
do you
the
remember
Eagles
that?
didn't get any snow?
No, they
Just
did,
the
but all of a sudden it just changed the whole thing of the game. Like the Lions couldn't run. It was like, I don't know. It wasn't like a football game anymore. It's kind of like that playoff game, Bears-Eagles in the fog in Chicago, where it just. If you look at a map, it just the fog just hovered over Soldier Field and stayed.
Yeah.
And you couldn't see anything. Like I remember watching that game. Like this is
unplayable.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And did the better team win?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
It's not always the way it is. It amazes me that Buffalo and some of the Lambeau and these places still have the outdoor stadiums.
Yeah.
Well,
they view it as an advantage.
Exactly right. So does a better team always win? Not necessarily. But,
I don't know.
There's always these advantages. The West Coast teams coming to the East Coast for the time,
which is always the hardest.
That's always the hardest thing coming across. Cold weather teams or warm weather teams coming up to cold weather games.
Yeah,
they're just not conditioned to it.
Right.
So there's built-in advantages there.
Yeah. I know my Niners are playing Monday Night Football against the Cardinals in Mexico, Mexico City, which is like 7,300 feet above sea level. So they've taken the whole organization and gone to Colorado Springs.
Yeah, got to get some altitude training.
Yeah. But, it's 80 degrees in Mexico City. It's fucking 40 degrees in Colorado. So they're dealing with the cold
that'll be fine.
All that.
You get your lungs acclimated to the altitude.
Can you do that with just a few days, though?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
It thins your blood or whatever that is, or however
Yeah.
that works out. I mean, it's
wild.
better than nothing. It's
Yeah.
better than just showing up there with a day or two to adjust.
I was going to say, though, when my teams are playing, I don't want some weird element that just throws off the game completely, whether it's the fog bowl or 2 feet of snow on the ground. It's like, okay, we don't know what my team would have done in this game. And I know both teams deal with it, but it's like, I want to see what my team can do against this team. And whether it's a little cold or a little bit of snow, a little bit of rain, that's fine. But when you get
It is
these,
nice
like,
to see apples to
crazy-
apples. You get to see the
Yeah.
actual talent play out on the field.
Yeah, which makes it that I would have liked to have kept this game in Western New York, in Buffalo, Buffalo and Cleveland. Those two teams I don't give a shit about. So
Correct.
if they want to play in 4 feet of snow, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
fun.
it's very entertaining to watch those games.
Yeah.
We watched Western Central the other night, and they had a pretty good blizzard going up there, too.
Yeah, they did. It kind of stopped at halftime, but that first half was wild.
It's coming down, man. Coming down hard.
Yeah.
They'd run out every break and shovel it, and by the time you come back on, the lines would be gone.
The other reason they moved that Bills Browns game to Detroit is what they're really worried about is not so much the snow on the field and the football teams. They're worried about emergency services, first responders, and cops.
Yeah.
Knowing how many they need at the stadium to deal with 80,000 people.
Yeah.
And if there's local emergencies going on that they've dedicated so many resources to, that they were worried about that.
And it works out well. I mean, because Buffalo's coming in here for the Thanksgiving game on Thursday.
Yeah.
So them coming into town gets them out of that blizzard to make sure there's no issues there anyway. It gets them here. They can just stay here the extra few days.
Oh, I heard them talking about that on the NFL Network. They're like, well, it's still unclear whether they'll go home and then come back. I'm like,
Come on.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, maybe they haven't said it, but let me make it real clear for
They're
you.
not
They're
going
not
home.
going back to the 6 feet of snow.
And why would they go back into that emergency anyways?
Right.
And then just to turn around a
Exactly.
day later and come back out
yeah,
here?
they'd probably travel for a Thursday game, Tuesday at
or
worst?
Monday.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
even
Monday,
Monday.
Tuesday.
I don't know.
So yeah, they'll be like a home team by the time they get here and spend an extra few days here. And
Well, it worked out well because there was nothing going on there. They didn't have anything booked until the high school championships for Thanksgiving, except tonight actually is the Hobnobble Gobble.
excuse me?
Yeah, it's the Hobnobble Gobble.
Okay.
Which is a big black tie event that they put. I've been there, no big deal.
Have you really?
I have, yes.
The Hobnobble Gobble? It sounds like a blowjob fest.
It's the parade company, like their big fundraiser kind of thing. That's where Stabbing Out jumped in front of me in the fucking line for food. Yeah, I was like,
punch
after you,
her?
bitch.
Yeah.
I said, you look hungry.
yeah.
No, but they turned the whole inside. It's like a big carnival with fucking the one we went to. Florida they had like a concert going there.
wow.
Like everybody who's everybody is there.
Yeah.
But that's tonight, so they're scrambling because I mean they have like full like Ferris wheels and shit in there. Like,
In Ford Field?
In Ford Field, the whole
Oh,
thing
wow.
is set up like a huge deal.
Yeah. So they probably have them use on the practice field and indoor facilities.
Yeah. So, but they
You know what I
just they
mean?
still
'Cause
have
they can't get on the
still have
field.
to break that down. Normally they would have already been working on that, but they can't get that, so they won't even be able to start prepping the field until midday tomorrow, best for the Sunday game.
Yeah.
They're behind the 8 ball on it a little
Oh
bit.
my God. Yeah. Yeah. I bet
They would have already been working on it under ideal circumstances.
I wonder how ticket sales will be for that.
I don't know. I'm not sure how that works because I mean, obviously, it had to be a sold out game in Buffalo,
Yeah.
so those tickets, are already sold. So do those people just get dibs on tickets for here? Like if you had those tickets,
Yeah, but
you
they're
get
not
the
going to sell
option.
80,000. 80,000 people are not coming from New
No,
York
I understand. No, and then they have to.
Cleveland.
But I wonder how they break that down. If they have dibs to buy tickets each team, each
Or if
ticket
their tickets
member,
are still good.
or if they can just parlay those tickets and use them, and then they have to figure out how to sell the rest of them. I wonder how well it's going to sell. To be honest with you,
Well, there has been a little precedent. Didn't the Vikings play
yeah,
here?
and that wasn't their dome caved in. Is that what it was?
Yeah, or something like that. I know there was another game at
There was
Ford
another
Field,
game here. I can't remember
which
exactly.
was two random teams that weren't
Yeah,
from the area, and I think that might have been a Monday night game.
was it?
Yeah, or they moved it to Monday night. So maybe there were 2 Monday night games that week.
Perhaps.
Yeah. They've done some weird things. I don't know. I mean, that'd be kind of cool to see the Bills.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
Browns
bad,
at Ford Field.
And I wonder, if you can actually, because, I mean, just to go see a regular game's, over $100 a ticket. So
Yeah.
who's going to pay that to go watch a random game? I mean, if you're not
Yeah.
a Bills or a Browns fan.
I'm trying to think, did they give tickets away to that Monday night game?
Maybe. That's what I'm wondering.
You
Just
know?
to fill it in, just to get people there so it's
Yeah.
not a black eye. I'm really curious of how this all shakes out.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, you're not going to fill it with Browns and Bills fans.
No.
Especially
Probably not.
No, especially
There's
with people.
probably Bills fans travel well. And
They
Cleveland's
can,
been
but they
around
They
for a
also got
while.
to. It's already started. The snow in Buffalo. Like
Wednesday
you got to
night,
get
I
out of there already.
Yeah.
So
There's probably a shitload of Bills fans around here too. Like certain
I'm sure there's
teams travel
quite
really
a few,
well.
but not selling out a
No.
stadium. And Cleveland travel well for that. That's an easy drive up from Cleveland, couple hours.
Yeah.
But you
What
got
is
to
that,
imagine
4 hours to Cleveland?
No, not like 2.5.
Is that it?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's a little fun when you have something going on in your town that you weren't expecting. And,
Sure.
I know I'd be interested if it was all of a sudden the Niners were here when they weren't scheduled
Well, yeah,
to be.
of course.
Like,
then you would be, yeah. So I mean, every
Right.
Bills fan and Browns fan is
yeah,
tickled
that's
pink
what I
right
mean,
now.
though. Like those fans that are around here that exist,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be shocked if they didn't go to that game.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I know you were looking at ticket prices. You were looking at Thanksgiving Lions tickets.
Well, I was looking to see if there was tickets for this, so I was on Ford Field ticket things.
but they
whatever.
weren't. I wonder if that's been updated yet. If there are tickets.
Probably has. I think I saw some sort of a thing that there was like a pre-sale that was going on for like season ticket holders or something along those lines, whether it be Buffalo season ticket holders for them at like 2:00 today, perhaps.
Okay.
And then maybe just open them up, giving them a few hours to get what they want, and then open them up to the general public.
Yeah. Are you looking right now?
Yeah, just gonna see if I can find it.
Yeah, they've got to be for sale.
You would think.
Yeah. Or give them away. Then you take the concessions and parking. Makes it worthwhile for Detroit.
Oh, on sale, TBA. Still don't have it.
Really?
Yeah, they still don't have it technically on sale. Like I said, I think I saw that there was a pre-sale for somebody, season ticket holders, something, or their fans, or somebody that already had tickets for the other game.
Yeah.
So they're probably giving them a window to buy or exchange their tickets.
Yeah.
And then before they go on sale to the general public. But yeah, take your time.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get on to other things, but it should be exciting for fans that were not expecting football this weekend at Ford Field. You get some NFL football that's probably not going to suck. At least
so you can go down and see a good team.
Yeah, the home team here will be the Buffalo Bills, and it's a good one to watch. See Josh Allen indoors.
Yeah, we don't need them to have another game to get prepared for Ford Field.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to be expert on Ford Field.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, they're going to be boy. Anyway, moving on to other things I should mention. Radio41.com. It's the site. You can listen there. You can buy merch, T-shirts, sweatshirts, tank tops. The Amazon link is there. Please, all you folks using Amazon, we know you're using it, especially for the holidays. Amazon Canada link is there. My Pillow link is there. Just use promo code TDC. Groupon. You can also link to our Patreon page. We'll do some exclusive content this weekend, as we always do, and we'll throw that in there, and we're excited about it. So thank you to everybody that's already a Patreon member. We welcome any newcomers. You've got lots of catching up to do. There's lots of content out there. So maybe get someone a Patreon membership for Christmas.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Knock that fan right off the list. All right, moving on to other things. Princeton University, they have formed a committee to determine the fate of an on-campus statue of their founding father, John Witherspoon.
All right.
Sounds like the kids have a problem with old Mr. Witherspoon.
Yeah, what'd Big John do?
Well,
Did he have himself some slaves?
2 of them.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what else he did in life. That's
No, of course
irrelevant.
not.
Yeah.
Yep.
After complaints from students about Witherspoon, who was a signer of the Declaration of Independence, by the way, and a mentor to James Madison, University announced that it would be looking at proposals to remove the 10-foot-tall bronze cast statue from its current location. Students said, "We believe, first, that the statue pays great honor to Witherspoon and encourage members of the university community to honor Witherspoon. Second, we believe that paying such honor to someone who participated actively in the enslavement of human beings and used his scholarly gifts to defend the practice is today a distraction from the university's mission." Okay. Just walk past it, kids.
Yeah.
You know, not everything in history is going to be to your liking.
No, generally not.
That's for sure.
There's lots of offensive stuff in history, but you can't change that.
Yeah.
And just taking down a statue doesn't. It's not like he's immortalizing, slaves. It's not like it's a statue of him, with a whip in his hand.
Yeah. These schools need to be very careful too, because most of their founding, a lot of these schools, especially when you're talking about Ivy Leagues, a lot of them have sketchy backgrounds with slave ownership, plantations.
And the guy had two. Sounds like he had some housekeepers, not like a farm full of slaves,
right?
Plantation full.
Not that two's good.
No, not that two's good. And who knows? They could have been the best treated slaves in the country.
I don't know that that's a great argument.
Well, you never know. I mean, they could have been very happy to be there.
Yeah, could have been.
They could have been.
They could have looked around and said, boy, oh boy, this sucks for us, but it's way better than John's fucking crib down the street.
Yeah.
He treats them like shit.
Exactly right.
He's constantly whipping his slaves and raping them,
Yeah.
Whereas Witherspoon here,
yeah, treats them good.
Yeah,
part of the
treats 'em
family.
great.
They're technically slaves, but those were the times.
yeah, they can't leave, but they're not like in jail,
Right.
So
I mean, that's on the books. It's whatever. Yeah. You're just assuming a lot. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, you're assuming that throughout history there weren't atrocities committed everywhere the world over, and you don't get to show up, 200 years later, and act like you've got some moral high ground and superiority to everybody.
If any of those kids' families own slaves, they should get kicked out of school. They shouldn't have the right to an education.
Agreed. Yeah.
Clearly.
And I think the numbers, less than 5% of people in this country currently who have any sort of lineage to slavery. I think it's like a really small number of people that can go back through history and go, yep, my great grandparents.
Because really, it was a small number altogether. Really, when you think about
there's more slaves in the world today than there were back then. Little known fact.
Yeah,
bet people didn't know that. In place of the statue, the students would like a plaque placed instead that includes details about Witherspoon's negative legacy, specifically that he owned 2 slaves. They argued that his presence on campus was a distraction and that the monument to him could be a jarring experience because of his racial views.
So we have to we tear down every positive thing this guy's done and then put up a plaque because he had 2 slaves.
Yeah. And just shit on him no matter what. He once said this to a woman. He once said that to a guy. He once owned 2 slaves.
Oh, man.
God. Over the next few weeks, the naming committee will be holding listening sessions for faculty, students, staff, and alumni to share their views on the issue.
Well, that's what we need.
Yeah, we do.
And we need more opinions.
Right. From faculty and staff. And, oh, my God, what a nightmare. My eyes would just be stuck in the back of my head because rolling my eyes at this point, they're just rolling back. Yeah. I just, the nerve of some people.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's
know better than everybody.
Let he who is without sin cast the first stone.
Oh, I've heard that. It's a great one. You should fucking put that on a shirt.
Is, yeah.
The petition was launched by students over the summer, but university officials are now taking it under consideration, promising to conduct rigorous research. You don't need to. You've already admitted the guy had 2 slaves. So if that's a deal breaker for you, then just rip the fucking statue
That's
down.
the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters.
Who was Princeton named after, by the way? And did that guy have slaves? Because if so, why don't we change the name of this?
I wonder. I thought that his last name would have been Princeton, the founder.
Yeah, he was a president. Or was he?
I said it was the founder.
Founding father. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Let's see. Witherspoon was born in Scotland in 1723.
Jesus.
Yeah, we're worried about that. Before he moved to Jersey in 1776 to take the job as president of Princeton, where he taught classes. Also served as a Presbyterian minister before dying in 74. He had established himself as an intellectual statesman, had the distinction of being the only clergyman to sign the Declaration of Independence.
What a monster.
Yeah, absolute monster. Like many founders, Witherspoon's record on slavery was mixed. While he did own 2 slaves, he also supported and participated in the education of freed slaves.
Okay.
One slave he baptized while in Scotland gained freedom because of the baptism. He also considered slavery unlawful, but believed that it would soon die out in New Jersey. He was married to Elizabeth Montgomery in 1748. He had 11 kids, and then that bitch kicked it.
Oh,
she died.
Yeah. What,
And then he
died from a blown out uterus?
Yeah, probably. She died in 1789, and then he was like, fuck this. So he finds this broad, Ann Dill, decades younger than him.
Oh, boy.
Starts banging her. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So even back in the
Upgrade.
1700s, it was like, finally, this bitch with a blown out vagine spit out 11 fucking kids.
That's torture.
Trade her in for a 30-year-old. You know what I mean?
Man.
Huh?
That's gross,
It's
man.
fucking gross, man. No, I don't want nothing to do with that. That's blown out. Yeah. I don't know. Like, let's see. So yeah, these kids can be accepted into Princeton, maybe get a decent education, but I think they have zero stuff in anything that came before them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, what are we doing? Why are we encouraging this behavior?
I mean, you're punishing people for playing by the rules at the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If these guys were out in the forefront, you know, trying to keep slavery or whatever, okay, maybe that's not a good look.
Yeah.
You know, but those were the rules of the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
I don't
how
know why
it was.
that's so hard for people to understand.
But that parlays throughout history. Even going back to calling somebody a faggot 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Is now oh my God, brain's fucking scrambled.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, buddy.
Reprehensible.
What were you trying to say?
Reprehensible.
Reprehensible.
Yeah.
Reprehensible.
Exactly.
behavior. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not nearly as bad as
I have no interest in going through the history books.
Well, no, you're a white guy. You wouldn't.
No, I know, but I mean, just in general, anywhere in the world. Look, we're all here for a very short amount of time, and each of us added what we added. There's some great people through history that are a product of their times. It's as simple as that.
Exactly right.
You know, do you want to go through and, you know, obviously you want to right wrongs of the past, but I don't think it's fair to judge people
No.
like that, because they're going to judge you on what you're doing right now. I say it all the time. You know, do you want to be judged based on everything you did? You know, I mean, what if it comes down to you led this incredible life, you helped a tremendous amount of people, but you were a meat eater. And 200 years from now, the thought of eating animal meat is so abhorrent, you know, that, you know, we need to tear down statues to you and what you did in life and all the great things you accomplished. I think that's bullshit. I don't think it's real. It's, you know, I mean, who's going to be left? If you're trying to find the perfect person, who's going to be left?
Nobody.
We're just going to be left with Black Lives Matter statues all over the country. You know what I mean?
I thought you wanted perfect people.
Yeah. Well, aren't they? I think they are. You're not allowed to arrest them, not allowed to question them.
Oh, are
Not
we allowed to
do
audit
anything.
them?
No.
Shit,
I
that'd be
mean,
good.
yeah, racist. Go ahead.
That would be lovely.
Audit them. Sure. Yeah, it's sad, you know, and people go, why do you care? It's just a statue. Well, we've been
I
talking
don't
about
believe
this.
it's just a statue. Exactly.
I don't either.
Yeah.
You
it's
know,
more than we're past the just the statue phase.
and I think these are
Where does
all-
it end?
I think these are all very, very teachable moments for things. If you just erase it like it never existed and you try to just sweep stuff under the rug, then you can't possibly learn or teach people in real terms. Like, this is a real man who helped found our university. He was a Presbyterian minister. He's the only religious scholar, whatever they said, to sign the Declaration of Independence. I think he was part of the Bill of Rights, too, or something like that. So, like, you know,
Yeah. He's a monster.
yeah.
Unfit for statuesque.
But if you just erase him and everything he did and everything he stood for, these people all have complex backgrounds. They all are products of their time.
Yeah.
And I think it's, Germany did a fairly good job of this, I think. I'm sure someone will say it's bullshit. But I think Germany put up plaques to any like Jewish facility around, like the atrocities that took place. But they didn't bury it like, never happened, like, just tear all the things down and all the people that were around that. Now, I'm not saying you need to erect a statue to Hitler.
Right.
I think we could all agree with that, but
Sure. Well, I think that's more the point of this. Is not that you're ignoring history. It's the fact that this person doesn't deserve a statue because of their affiliation with the slavery. I think that's more the point of it. I don't agree with it, but it's not taking away from the good that he did, but just saying, okay, but he was also a slave owner, so we shouldn't erect statues, and people shouldn't have to walk by and look at a person like that on campus because that's not what we're about.
I think you can just as easily, put a plaque at the base of a statue saying,
well, this was a really great man. He did own 2 slaves, so there's that.
Yeah, hey, like anybody who was born in the 1720s, their backgrounds and their histories are complete with, questionable things, and that doesn't make our former founding father any different. He's no different than any human that was flawed, especially in those times. And while he was a founding member of this, he signed that. He was. You can say all the good things and say now, that doesn't mean he doesn't come with faults, and not to whitewash it or to act like it's not a big deal. He was a slave owner. Those slaves were named so and so and so and so, and
Yep.
You can add that stuff to the books, to the plaque, and without destroying your own history.
Of course.
And just because some fucking 18-year-old coming into your campus doesn't like something,
was triggered by it.
yeah, you can tell him to fuck off or find a new school. Too, you don't need to just bow and fold over. What are you going to do at Harvard or Yale when they go, dude, your founding fathers owned hundreds of slaves. This whole this used to be a plantation, or it's on stolen land or whatever. Do you really want to start listening to these people? Because they're never going to be satisfied.
No, that was the whole point. Yes. Where does it end?
Yeah.
And where does it end?
Netflix tried playing that game until they went, yeah, go fuck yourselves. You don't like it, leave, tranny.
Yeah.
You don't like it the way, you don't like what Dave Chappelle said in the stand-up special. Sorry, 20 million people watched it, and about 2 give a flying fuck what you think.
Yep.
So we're not going to listen to you anymore.
The
And if you
numbers
don't
have
like it,
spoken for
leave.
themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't like it, bye. There's the door. It's not easy to get into Princeton. So if you don't like it, if John Witherspoon's statue is too much for you to overcome, maybe you're not adult enough to be here to begin with.
What do you think happens?
Oh, they'll probably rip it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not worth the bullshit.
Yeah. And then they'll play that stupid game where, oh, yeah, we've got it, in a museum somewhere. That's what they do when it's like, we understand we got to sort of maybe take it down, but we don't want to throw it away.
Yeah.
Historically, like South Carolina with the Confederate flag on the state capitol, state grounds or whatever. And people were like, and so they were like, all right, we'll take it down and not throw it in the garbage.
Yeah, of course.
We'll put it up at the this museum. So
Hang
I
on
don't
to
know.
that for later.
Yeah. So there's going to be a museum somewhere with amazing shit in it.
Yeah,
Like,
no
they
doubt.
should
Tons
just
of
have-
statues.
Yeah, the Museum of the Unwoke, and
you
just
go.
have all the statues and all the flags, and watch that thing just dominate. It's sold out for years. All the history you can't see anywhere else
Yeah.
anymore is all in this giant museum of American history, the Unwoke Museum,
The Unwoke Museum. I like it. It's got potential.
right?
Hey, it's that time of year. Amazing Black Friday deals are finally here, and our friends and OG sponsor at Zott Ford have a bountiful inventory that is more plentiful than most. For example, they have over 30 F-150s in stock and ready to rock. Zott Ford also has Expeditions, Explorers, Edges, Escapes, Bronco Sports, and even a couple of Mustangs available and ready for you to drive home today. Not to mention their pre-loved inventory is brimming with cars, trucks, and SUVs from all manufacturers and prices that start below $10,000. Plus, our boy Gabara can help get you interest rates as low as 1.9% and lease payments well below $300 a month. Finally, Zott Ford makes buying and leasing simple, fun, fast, and easy, and still paying absolute top dollar for your trade-in. You can get details and surf their Black Friday specials at dealsinthed.com. Tell them TDC sent you.
All right.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Just send a message there. Sorry about that.
All right.
CNN. Mm-hmm. Not CNN Plus. T. Don't make fun of them.
They had a good run.
Yeah, they did. It's basically dead now. But their New Year's Eve show. Did you ever watch it?
No, absolutely. No, I watch it the next day and make fun of it.
Yeah.
But I don't actually watch it as it happens.
I don't either. I don't watch any of that shit, anymore. But they've gotten quite a reputation with people getting shit-faced on the air.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Don Lemon is hilarious. He's the worst. I mean, he's the worst human being. Literally, he's not only the worst broadcaster on television, like in the history of television. He's that fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's how dumb Don Lemon is. But he loves to get shit-faced, and then the gay in him really comes out.
Yeah.
And he gets a little more lispy. He gets belligerent. Should I get my nipple pierced?
Yes, you absolutely should.
Yeah, for sure you should.
Definitely
you fucking
should.
weirdo. Yeah, as a credible newsman, why wouldn't you get your nipple pierced on the air?
it's a
you
great
fucking
idea.
moron. Yeah. So CNN is cracking down on its anchors getting shit faced on the New Year's Eve live show this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the other? What's
Anderson Cooper.
and Cohen.
Andy Cohen.
Yeah.
Yeah. His best friend.
Yes. Best friend. Best friend.
Deepest of friends. Ball's deepest of friends.
Indeed.
So during a company town hall, CNN's new CEO, Chris Licht, informed staff that he would put a stop to much of the drinking that has usually been a part of their New Year's Eve programming. Hosts like Anderson Cooper will be allowed to keep drinking.
Yeah, as I say, I thought they cut the other guys off, but they let...
Yeah, Anderson, they're like, he's going to have a sip of champagne and whine about the taste anyways.
Right.
So, fine, you can drink.
Don't you other belligerent fools.
Yeah. We don't need Brooke Baldwin and Don Lemon getting fucking wasted and talking about nipple rings. That's not good for credibility going forward.
No, I think it's great for them. Personally, I wish they would keep doing it.
Yeah, I do too.
It's the only thing that makes
Get
it even
blackout
watchable.
drunk. Yeah.
It makes it remotely watchable.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't lend to the credibility issues they've been having.
No.
I would say that as a news organization.
They didn't have any credibility with me anyway, so who cares?
Yeah. They did 10 years ago. Not anymore. So, but yeah, so anchors and correspondents like Don Lemon, they should have just said Don Lemon.
Yeah.
Because that's what they really are worried
That's
about.
what they're talking about.
Yeah, Don Lemon.
They're just cutting him off.
Yeah. It's time to,
So can Andy still drink?
I don't know that Andy's not like a full-time.
I know, but he's there on their show, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. So.
Because they say specifically Anderson Cooper
Can drink.
can, right? But I think there's still. I bet you they'll still let Andy get sauced up.
Yeah, he's got it. Anderson is so stiff and dry.
Yeah.
You almost need an idiot like Kathy Griffin there getting fucked up, or Andy Cohen, you know. This year will be the first New Year's Eve show overseen by Licht since he took over the company in February. He told staffers that drinking on air eroded the presenter's credibility and respectability. I would agree. That doesn't mean I don't want him to do it.
No, I know.
I mean, watching them make fools of themselves is great. It's
the best part.
yeah, it really is. The program has been known for the antics the hosts get into. Notable instances include Kathy Griffin completely encasing Cooper in tinfoil to celebrate 10 years hosting the show together. Don Lemon having his ear pierced live on air. Yeah, it was down to his ear or his nipple. I don't know which idiot suggested the ear.
Yeah.
Come on, man. He should have done a cock ring while he
doubt.
was at it, you know?
Yeah.
Pierce his
At least your
asshole.
belly button.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Let's see. Reporter Randy Kay following a group of pot smokers on a puff pass and paint party while riding on a bus, and Bill Weir getting a tattoo on air.
All
I
right.
don't know who Bill Weir is. Bobby's brother, maybe?
Clearly.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Yeah. Last year, the broadcast drew significant controversy when Don Lemon and Andy Cohen. Do they only allow gay people on the set? Is that what the deal is?
Maybe.
Between Don Lemon, Andy Cohen, Anderson Cooper.
Whoa, easy. Is Cooper out?
Oh yeah, Coop's way the
Okay.
fuck out.
I thought wasn't he trying to hide that for a long time?
I don't know. No, he's gay as shit.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't questioning it.
Yeah. Loves cock. Yeah, I think he's married
Andy
to.
specifically, I think.
No, Andy gets his own cocks. I think isn't Anderson married to some buff hunk? They have kids
Probably.
now. Yeah.
Sure. I don't follow the gay lives
No.
of CNN hosts.
Yeah. No. Don Lemon and Andy Cohen both went on an alcohol-fueled rants while on air. First, Lemon ranted to Allison Camerata about criticism he receives. I don't give a what you think about me. What do you think about that? I'm a grown-ass man. I don't care what you think about me. I am who I am. I'm a grown, successful black man who a lot of people hate because they're not used to people seeing me and people like me. Yes, we are, Don. Get over yourself.
We've been seeing you for way too long.
Yeah, we're used to seeing black men on television.
Sham the hand down his pants and then give her the gas face with it?
Vigorously. I'd like to see that on New Year's Eve. Don Lemon goes around, and I mean vigorously rubs his cock and balls and then jams it into the mustaches of unsuspecting gay men or straight men.
That's a good bit.
While asking them if they like cock or pussy. Wasn't that what he did to the guy in
That's
Nantucket
exactly
or
how that
whatever?
went down.
Yeah. Just shoving it right under his mustache. And the guy was saying he could smell it. Wouldn't come off his mustache. In the position I am, to be able to share my point of view on television freaks people out. No, it doesn't, Don. Get over yourself. And you know what? You can kiss my behind. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care. I have one life, and this is who I am. I feel very blessed and honored to be in the position to be able to do this. So all the hate I get, it's motivation. Bring it. I don't care. Anyone who says I don't care 12 times in one sentence cares a lot what people think. I think Don Lemon spends most of his days reading comments about him.
Probably.
And then ginning himself up into believing he doesn't care. People that don't care don't feel the need to tell you they don't care.
Well, that's probably
and those people are more frustrating almost because you can't get a rise out of them. You know what I mean? Like you're irritating sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you don't care about a lot of things like other people think about you, say about you. You really don't.
No, I really don't.
Yeah. And so like I could get under Don Lemon's skin.
Easy.
You know. But people like you that truly don't care, yeah.
It's the best business decision CNN's made in quite some time.
What?
Cutting these guys off for New Year's Eve.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because it's the first decent move they've made.
Yeah. Well, Chris Lick took Don Lemon off primetime.
Yeah. All right. Second.
Stuffed him onto the morning show.
I heard that's doing really well.
Oh, yeah. He's with 2 other hosts now. Awesome, Don. Real move up. Real step up. Yeah. Morning radio would be a step up, but morning TV on CNN, no.
More of a lateral move.
Some people were not happy about this, saying watching news anchors get drunk on CNN is literally the highlight of New Year's Eve. Don't take that joy away. Yeah, I'm with you there. It used to bother me more than it should, where I was like, what the fuck are we doing? We're already living in idiocracy.
Yep.
Do we now need the most trusted names in news getting fucking belligerently drunk?
No.
And then scolding people?
Yeah.
On
some level, I can appreciate the relativity of it and to normalize these people. And it's New Year's Eve, so it's a special. Fair. No, I get it. But it's gone too far. It has not. It's shown that it's not a good decision.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know about you, but there's just a level of professionalism I want from my news readers. Like if there's ever going to be trust built up, and that might be, such a long shot it'll never happen.
And just because somebody goes out and has a few cocktails and has a good time, it doesn't mean I don't trust them at all. But when they start spewing off at the mouth, then you start chipping away at that credibility.
Yeah. You just, knowing newsmen historically, and God knows what's in their past too, but you just wouldn't see Tom Brokaw or, those types of people
Not when the
behaving
camera's
like that.
on.
No, no.
soon as the
And they're,
camera's
they're
off.
probably shit-faced during their broadcast. Or know how to handle their
Bill
stuff.
Bonds.
Yeah. Bill Bonds is a good example.
Yeah.
Billy can handle his shit for the
course.
most part, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, Don Lemon seems like a fucking baby to me. Every time I see him behave like that, he looks like an entitled baby who just wants everybody to know how gay he is and how oppressed he is. And it's like, dude, you make $8 million a year to fucking read news. What are you talking about?
Poor guy.
You're as privileged and elitist as they come. Stop acting like the victim, Don.
Yeah.
You know?
Embrace it while your unfireability still holds.
Yeah.
Because that black gay man thing is coming
Yeah.
to an end, too.
Yeah, you're right.
You
Troy.
had it good for a long time, sir.
Yep.
But
Yep.
that reign is coming to an end.
There's a new group. And when you get replaced by a trans man, you know, God forbid they're black, you're fucked, Don.
it's
you know?
over.
Yeah, because we already know, I mean, for equity reasons, skill doesn't matter.
No, God,
What
no.
you bring to the table, it's
No.
just about, you know, virtue signals. So
Yeah.
it's about time for the gay black men of America to take a seat in the back.
I would say take a knee, but
Yeah,
say
I was
that.
going to say have a seat in the back of the bus. But
Yeah, I shouldn't say that one either.
Probably shouldn't say that. Yeah, you know, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a boring New Year's Eve. That's all I know.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will take the reins and get fucked up,
Probably.
you know.
Does anybody watch Don Lemon on that part anyway? The only people give a shit about
Oh, I
is
think
Andy
people
and
tune
Cooper.
in just to see him get shit-faced.
Maybe.
You know? Yeah, because you know Don's going to be a fool. Don's going to be a toddler fool, you know?
So good.
Yeah. Idaho police?
Oh, yeah. They
you
cracked
know-
that case yet?
No. And my guess is they won't. My guess is they won't.
Well, they say something about the first 48 hours.
First 48 is big.
Yeah.
First 48 is big. We've surpassed the first 48.
Yeah, and the second. I think we're on to our third 48.
By the way, I was telling you I have family in Moscow, Idaho.
Yeah.
And so I was asking my mom. I was like, Troy was under the impression that it wasn't pronounced Moscow. She said it's pronounced Moscow.
Moscow. That's it. Yeah.
Moscow,
Not owl,
Idaho.
like Moscow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was something different, but I couldn't remember exactly
No
what it was.
shit. I think I've been calling it Moscow my whole life.
Sure, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, Moscow. That's what it was. I knew there was something different than the Moscow, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
couldn't remember what it was. See?
There you go.
I pay attention.
See, you're on it.
Yeah, it's the little
So
details
smart.
that I catch.
Police are now saying, which I thought it was a little immature or premature when they were talking about everything's fine.
Yeah, no threat here.
Nah.
This is a targeted attack, although we have no motive, no suspect,
No weapon,
no anything.
Nothing.
But we're pretty sure everybody else is okay.
Everyone else is safe. Fine. So now they're saying they can't quite ensure the community is safe after 4 U of Idaho students were found dead on Sunday from an apparent homicide. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
They did declare that it was a knife,
Oh, all right. That's a
Yeah.
big step up. See?
which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really moving.
Yeah,
they're
it's
really
progress.
They're really making some progress. Yeah, it's good to see. So
Nice that we can close that chapter and move on to, who had the knife.
yeah.
Yeah, or why they had the knife.
Or what was it? A edged.
Edged object.
Blade-
Edged object or edged weapon.
Yeah.
Something. Very good
Yeah.
thing.
So they've narrowed it down from that.
Like
and,
a knife.
and I know, like a knife.
It's like a knife.
I know for people like us, we jump the gun a little bit and we're like, boy, this sounds like stabbing victims to us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little reckless for us to go out and say something like that with what we know about the injuries.
Well, what if it would have been like a machete?
I would still say that could count as a stabbing, right?
Sure.
Or is that more of a slashing?
I guess it depends on how you use it. If you do that, wouldn't it be a stabbing? If you
Yeah.
do that, it would be a slashing. But
Yeah,
you
but
could do
could
the
you
same
say
with
that?
a knife.
Yeah, with a knife.
See?
Any bladed,
Potato.
any
Edged weapon.
edged bladed weapon, whatever. Yeah. Moscow Police Chief James Fry reversed course from what police had been saying all week, acknowledging that there may be a threat to the community, maybe, since the police still don't have a person of interest connected to the slayings. Huh. We cannot say that there is no threat to the community.
No.
You can't say that?
No.
Weird.
Yeah.
Because you said it the other
You
day.
did already say that.
You did
So
say
We
that.
felt so safe.
Yeah.
Is there anybody even left at the University of Idaho, or have they all just left?
Probably all just left.
Sounds like it's mass exodus. Like, fuck this.
So if they're saying now we cannot say there's no threat to the community, It's more like you shouldn't say that because you can, in fact, say it because you did, in fact, say it. You know, so it's probably we shouldn't have said there's no threat to the community.
Right. Because regardless, even if this was targeted, there is still a murderer loose.
4-time murder at
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
You know, there is a threat out there, possibly.
Potentially.
Yeah. Whether that threat has remained in Moscow, Idaho, or not, that threat still exists out there. Whether it's gone up to Seattle, whether it's no matter where it's gone, the threat still exists. Fry also said there were 2 other roommates at the house when the killings occurred, but they were not injured or taken hostage.
Wait. So did they see it?
No.
Did they know what happened?
Nah.
Sleep right through it? What are we
Yeah.
talking about?
They slept through 4 stabbings.
Come on.
Yeah. Yep. Or it sounds like we need to talk to them a little bit.
Potentially a person of interest.
The 2 surviving roommates did not witness the crime. Police were not called until just before noon. And the 2 other roommates were still in the house when police arrived to investigate. Boy, I'd have been gone from that house.
Oh, yeah.
I would not have stood around there going, I hope the
Nope.
police show up soon.
Nope.
I'd have been
Yeah.
gone.
Maybe that makes you don't want to look guilty.
Yeah, but I don't care how I look. I'm not hanging out with 4 fucking dead bodies. So much so that blood is dripping on the outside of the house.
Yeah, that's a
Gruesome.
scary thought.
Prior to Wednesday, police had been saying this was an isolated, targeted attack and insisted there was no ongoing threat to the community. While Fry indicated investigators believe this was an isolated attack. I'm sorry, Officer Fry, what makes you say that?
Yeah.
How do you know this isn't just a new upstart fucking serial killer that focuses on stabbing at least 4 college students in every college town he goes to?
Yeah.
You don't know. What makes you think this is an isolated incident?
How does the 4th one not make it out the door before the stabbings come around to
I
that?
wonder how shit-faced they were.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, at that age, we would have been hammered.
Yeah.
They didn't get home till 1:45 in the morning.
Right.
He did say there could be a threat to the community. He then urged people to report anything suspicious. He noted, noted on Wednesday that the students were stabbed with a knife that has not been found yet. There were no signs of forced entry into the home, no signs of a robbery. The group reportedly arrived back at the house sometime after 1:45 a.m. That's when we saw the video of them out at a food truck.
Yeah, right. And the guy in the background.
Yeah.
Waiting for his food. I mean, stalking the victims.
Yeah. I mean, how would you feel if you were that guy?
Right? Like, what the fuck? I was getting my coney dog, man.
Yeah, I was waiting on my coney dog just because I'm in the frame with these drunken students. Now I'm a suspect. How desperate are you?
Well, clearly very.
I mean, unless he was sitting there twirling a knife
Yeah.
behind him.
Just with his butterfly knife. Practicing.
So the call about an unconscious person. Boy, that's a slow one. Yeah. I mean, was he just stabbed in the back and you couldn't see it?
Right? The giant pool of blood oozing out everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, there's an unconscious person here. So that came in 10 hours later. So it was the 911 call that led police to discover the bodies. The scene inside the residence, worst they've ever seen. Blood seeping out of the home, dripping down the side of the house. Blood everywhere. We have investigators been on the job 20, 30 years. They've never seen anything like it. So.
Yeah, slow down.
Yeah.
Idaho PD.
Yeah.
Moscow PD.
Moscow.
Yeah.
Moscow.
I must go now.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like a place you'd often see something like that. Such brutal killings. I wonder what that is. Usually when there's a stabbing, it's more personal, right? Isn't that what they say about a stabbing?
Well, no, I mean, I wouldn't say that necessarily. I mean, if you have a knife, that's your weapon at the time. It's
Yeah.
when it's like 75 stab wounds that's a crime of passion.
Yeah. Stabbing of the eyes.
Things
you don't
like
want your
that.
victim to see you. There's all
Yeah.
kinds of things they say.
But I think just stabbing I don't think is directly a more personal attack.
The fact that they haven't found anybody yet and there's no leads, no witnesses or anything.
Yeah.
And it sounds like 10 hours expired before anyone was called.
Yeah.
The best way to get away with that is to not know those people.
Yeah,
at
it'd be
all. Just
completely random.
Completely
Exactly.
random. You can get away with that.
But even that, I mean, like I said, is so. Just can't believe with all the surveillance footage, all
Yeah.
the Ring cameras, everything all the phones, information that's out there. Even being totally random isolated, if it was just some vagrant that walked in off the street and snuck in there and just killed these people and ran off.
Yeah.
Somewhere there's a video of some guy walking down the street at 3:05.
Right.
Holding a knife under his arm.
Right. Blood everywhere. Because you got to think that person would be a mess.
Yeah.
How do you stab 4 people to death and not
you'd be
covered in blood yourself?
I mean, but I guess you escape under the darkness of night, for one. Ring cameras, fine. They might see somebody, but you're not going to be able to identify it unless you're standing in their, camera looking at you.
Right.
So they might have showed, somebody walked out of there.
Yeah.
But we have no idea who the hell it is.
But after like 4 days of this?
Yeah. They would have leaked any of that information if they had a picture. Oh, they sold out the dude waiting for his fucking chili fries.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that was how desperate they were.
Exactly.
And that had no correlation with it whatsoever. That's for their,
Yeah.
So if they had any information or any video, any leads whatsoever, I'm sure they would be pumping them out to the public, and they're not.
We've seen this historically too. And I apologize to black men more than anything because they've been the victim of this more so than anybody else over the years, where it was like, yeah, see, there was a black guy came up and, some wife, who was Susan Smith, drowns her kids. I don't know, some black guy stole my minivan. And, they're on a goose hunt for a fucking black dude.
Exactly.
The amount of black guys who have been like that used to be the thing you could just say, I don't know, as a black guy. Yeah, see, it was just a black guy. And you're like,
find a surveillance video of a black guy from a mile down the road at 3 o'clock in the morning.
He fits the description.
Get him.
Guy gets picked up, thrown in the fucking truck, and he's, you don't see him anymore. You can't really do that anymore.
No, thankfully.
It's a
little more information than just that.
Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that, but
you were apologizing to the blacks.
I was apologizing to blacks because, you could just say that historically and get someone in trouble. Well,
who's going to say that now? Because they're all dead.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay, so when they don't have any suspects, they don't have any people of interest. They don't have a murder weapon. It used to be that you could just, they want to pick someone up to make the community feel safe.
Of course.
So I was like, yeah, see, we found a suspicious looking black guy, see, and we picked him up, and and then you go and fucking interrogate the shit out of that guy, harangue him, harass him, you don't have
an alibi? Fucking perfect. You'll do just fine.
And I don't care who you are. We know that, you can get a confession out of anybody. You fuck with them long enough.
You were arrested for having a knife when you were 13? Awesome. You'll do.
Yeah, you'll do. Everybody in the community, feel safe. We've got this young darky under arrest here. Pretty certain it's him. So they want to make the community feel safe. Well, I would argue.
Are there any black people in Idaho?
Maybe a couple.
Okay.
Probably on the Idaho basketball team.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think I would rather personally get the right guy.
Yeah.
Or get no guy.
That goes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it kind of goes to the tenets of our justice system. I'd rather 10 guilty men go free than one innocent man is convicted.
What if they got a guy that was guilty of something else, but not this one, and they knew they could pin it on him?
Was he guilty of like shoplifting or murder?
Guilty.
Well,
guilty.
If they've got a guy who dead to rights for jaywalking, I don't want them to just throw these charges on top of it.
What if he's a habitual shoplifter? What if he's one of your San Francisco $900 a day guys?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fine.
Throw the book at him.
You want to pin some shit on that guy in San Francisco? He'd still be out after a month, anyways.
Yeah.
Even with 4 homicides under his belt. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't even have to go to a halfway home or rehabilitate or anything.
Yeah. They let the dude that ran over all those cops out.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
The cops in training that were jogging.
The cops that got mowed down by the guy.
Jesus.
Guess who's out on bail?
Of course he is. The Kamala Harris.
I don't even know if he's out on bail. He's out pending investigation.
What? Oh. Yeah. If you don't know the story, there were young cadets, police cadets, out jogging. There's got to be 50 of them
doing their run, their training.
Yeah. And this guy in a minivan just kind of pulls into where they're jogging down the road and just mows down 20 of them.
Totally sober.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't like a drunk driving thing or anything like that. So interesting. Just another example.
Just hated cops.
Yep. So
flat
but let's let that guy back out on the street.
Yeah.
Hey, insurance. We all need it. Most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who even provides it. Let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change all that. Brent has over 30 years in the business and offers all types of insurance coverage. Auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. So call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900 and get a free no-obligation quote today. Again, that's 734-455-1900 and ask for Brent Wasik.
All right. Speaking of, the $950 of stolen merch you're allowed to have
Yeah.
in San Francisco. It was 8 years ago, by the way.
That they passed that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They approved a ballot measure 8 years ago that prescribes misdemeanor penalties to nonviolent property crimes in which the value of stolen goods does not exceed $950.
Yep.
And by the way, they could start out as nonviolent and things go awry, little off the rails.
Well, that's why you can't let anybody interfere with them, so they don't go, don't become violent.
Yeah.
You just have to let them go.
Yeah. It's just $950 worth of merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it's done over 1 million times, it turns into $950 million.
Sure adds up.
Hello.
I said I got a girlfriend who lives out there that they finally just got to the point where they just leave their car windows
unlocked.
down,
Yeah,
and
windows
unlocked
down. Yep.
because and even that they didn't even. They got to the point where they started rolling their windows down because they got to the point where they would lock the cars, they'd break into it.
Yeah.
They'd take everything out of the car, so there was nothing in there to look in to see. They'd still break it in to find out.
Yeah.
And then they would leave the car unlocked. Well, they wouldn't check the fucking doors. They would just break the windows anyway to look in there to see if there was anything worth stealing.
Right.
So they got to the point where they would leave the windows down and it unlocked and empty.
Yeah.
And people would still go rummaging through their shit looking for a penny under the seat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Insane.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just awful. I don't know what you do about it.
Well, maybe you change the fucking law. How about that?
Yeah, no, Democrat rule has been the thing for 100 years there.
Yeah.
Keep going. Super majority across the board. Enjoy, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we saw was a lot of businesses put black-owned signs in the windows, and shitloads of people on their cars and on their lawns, they would have Black Lives Matter
Yep.
shit,
Yeah.
and a lot of people out there will tell you, oh, we just want them to not fuck with our stuff. We
course.
figure if they see a BLM sticker on our car,
Yeah.
they'll think we're on their team and they'll leave us alone.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you
that-
do
that's
what you gotta
the
do.
definition of being held hostage.
Yeah.
To shit policies and shit laws.
Yeah. I told you Don used to put those little Crown air freshener things in the back of his Crown Vic
Yeah.
when he worked downtown because
Yep.
that was the thing the homies did.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, they think it's one of theirs. Maybe they won't steal anything.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because maybe they think there's nothing in here. I don't know.
And it worked, right?
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, didn't get his shit stolen. By the way, so we're talking about the theft and up to $950. Target executives revealed that organized theft contributed to $400 million decrease in gross margins.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Oh,
400 million bucks.
sure. What's
It
the
sounds
problem?
a little bit bigger number than $950, which sounds kind of minuscule.
Yeah, right.
But it's really the compounding of the 950, 950.
Now let's extrapolate that out because that's just Target.
Target.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's look at all the Walmarts, the Walgreens,
Yeah.
and the CVS's,
Rite Aids.
and everything else out there. Now you put those kind of losses out there. Good luck with this economy.
Yeah.
Good luck. And good luck keeping stores in your fucking towns.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what they think. I don't see what the benefit is that they can possibly justify this shit.
Yeah.
You know, I can understand trying to, do something to change what was going on. That was just a repetitive cycle of these junkies and homeless people and whatever, stealing petty things and churning up through the system, another charge, all this stuff. But that was the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Clearly. And now it's not just those people. Now it's people that are just going to manipulate the system because I
Hell
know I
yeah.
can just go. There's career shoplifters out there now.
Yeah,
That's
of
all
course.
there is.
There's no shame.
Professional shoplifters.
People don't give a shit.
Right.
It's pretty pathetic to watch and to see, and I don't know, but $400 million.
Yeah.
And you're right. That's just Target.
That's just Target.
It's just Target.
And that's just that last
funny,
year.
too.
Or is that through 8 years or is that last year's? What was that number?
No. Last year.
That was just last year, right?
I
That's not.
believe so,
That's not
yeah.
since the inception.
Yeah.
That's the 8 years of this shit law being in place.
Yeah. One of the other things that I noticed when I was out last time, I was with Raj actually, and maybe Newburgh, but we were in Santa Monica at the beach there, and so we're walking through, the different, they've got all kinds of restaurants and retail stores and all that. It's kind of an upscale-y shit place, whatever. So many places are boarded up in anticipation of being robbed, but what I noticed was, it's like cigar store, windows blown out, fucking display cases blown out, robbed to shit. The education center next door,
Untouched.
yeah.
So there's nothing in there worth.
No.
So it's not just about breaking windows and making a point. It was about getting stuff.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
It's weird.
Somebody had a whole store full of blunt wraps next door that got taken.
Yeah, but the education place next door.
books next door
the
were
books
safe?
next door were fine.
weird.
They were fine. They didn't even bother boarding up. They knew.
Yeah, right.
There was a magic store there. I didn't know there were a lot of magic stores, but there was one, windows blown out. It was like people thought, that'd be cool to have a magic kit.
Yeah, sure.
And and Raj had a good joke at the time. He was like, "Hey, the magic store, look, they made everything disappear."
But bump.
Yeah, which was not bad in the moment as we're looking at it. But I was taking pictures, and it was like, yeah, this store. Nah, of course that didn't get robbed. Right. Of course that didn't get robbed. But the Nike store down the street. Oh, did that get robbed?
Oh yeah.
Oh, did the Nike store get fucked up?
Of course.
And so it was like, are we making a social statement? Or are we just looking for free shit?
Are we protesting or are we looting?
We're just looting.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The picture becomes very, very clear when you look at it at scale. And you're like, oh, I see what they did. They went to all these stores with cool shit in it that they would like.
Yep.
But they didn't go after the local bookstore.
No.
They went after all the cool stuff.
Of course.
Who wouldn't want some new Jordans? If it comes down to feeding your baby, getting new Jordans, Jordans is where it's
You
at.
can always sell the Jordans to feed the baby.
Right. That's probably what they'll do.
Exactly. There was probably some pretty good fire sales going on around there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They also revealed that profits fell 50% in the third fiscal quarter as sales diminished ahead of the holiday season. Target CEO Brian Cornell remarked that organized criminal behavior has negatively impacted earnings and required new levels of security spending. Why? You don't use the security you've had.
I know.
Right? They're not allowed to do anything. They can't arrest anybody. I mean, the most they can do is go, really? Come on, man.
Dude, come on, dude.
Bro.
Again?
Bro. Man.
It's our last one. Somebody might really need that.
Seriously, Holmes? Like, that's as far as they can go. As far as, like, when it's like you see someone just calmly, casually filling up a cart and then bypassing the checkouts. As they go to the door, you don't jockey in front of them and stop them. The most you can do is go, bro, really? Not cool, bro. Not cool, bro. Not cool.
I think we changed the way we do security around here. I think we start arming them
And start thumping them.
Yeah.
I want to see some ratty ass fucking filthy piece of shit woman just strolling out of the store with a cart full of stuff.
Just get
and then
clotheslined.
Just get billy clubbed. Just whack. Out she goes. If she dies, she dies.
Yeah,
I don't
that's fine.
care. No. And then, we could hire someone to restock the shelves with what was about. How many fucking melons would you have to thump before people went, I'm taking this up at Walgreens, man.
Yeah.
It ain't worth it at Rite Aid. They're
You would
just
think.
thumping motherfuckers now.
They tried playing along, and look where it got them.
Yeah.
$400 million loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, this year.
You would think the community would step in too and go, enough of this shit. How many years did they have to lose $400 million before they go, you know what, we're moving
I
out
want
of
my
the state.
target here, fuckers.
Yeah. I need my target
That's
here.
a great question. When will people stand up for it?
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to just shut the fuck up and put their head down now.
Yeah. And if you think you're not paying for it, think again, because Target's not just going to eat $400 million.
Nope.
That's going to be reflected in prices and sales and all kinds of things
Yep.
going forward. So until you start cracking some skulls like the old days. We remember when you'd see occasionally a video and it was like, dude, you're not gonna believe this surveillance video, and some guy's trying to shoplift and an employee comes out of nowhere like a fucking NFL linebacker.
The good old days.
It just lights someone up.
Yeah.
And we all cheered as a group.
Everyone,
we all
collectively.
knew that was a great thing.
Exactly.
It's like, look at this dude. Watch it again in slow-mo. Watch his legs go up over his head.
Yep.
Look at him. Oh, I hope it was worth it over some fucking formula, asshole. And just watch that guy get cleaned out. Love it.
Well, you got the bodega owner that stabbed the guy in self-defense.
Yeah.
And
Ended up at Rikers.
He was the one that went to prison and not the guy that...
Well, that guy was dead.
Yeah.
But his girlfriend,
But the girlfriend,
who was
right.
also
She was
stabbed,
not charged
never
with it.
charged.
Right.
Never charged.
Yeah.
Let's see. As a result, we're making significant investments in training and technology that can deter theft and keep our guests and store team members safe. No, there's nothing that technology is going to do to deter guests.
Well,
You thump people. You have security there for a reason. You don't
have-
let people just steal shit from your store.
I have an idea.
What you got?
You know, like the little things that make the scanners go off, the little tags.
Like on alcohol bottles?
No, well, yeah, whatever. They have them on everything. I mean,
Clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little strips that set off the
That
detector on the way
you gotta
out.
unlock.
Yeah. But no, see, a lot of them, when they go over the thing, that it disarms them, right? So they have to when they get checked out, there's like a signal that disarms that stuff.
Right.
Because even in packages, you'll get stuff home and you'll have them in those little strips in there.
Pisses me off, man.
Yeah. So, but when they must send a signal or something to disarm it when you check out, so then it doesn't set off the thing. Let's make those little bombs that detonate.
Okay, so you're talking about the purple ink bombs in money when people would rob from a
Sure,
bank.
or maybe
Along
a little,
those lines.
or maybe a little bigger and louder and more deadly. But okay,
Okay. Well, I don't think deadly's good, but if you want to do like IED and blow someone's legs off,
that's what I'm
or
saying.
arms
Yeah.
off,
Well, I mean, we don't have to go
you
full.
don't have to kill them.
No, we can take the arm off. Eye for
Yeah.
an eye. You get
Yeah.
caught stealing, they chop your arm off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're running out there with that bag holding it, and it blows up. And if you have
Very Sharia law of you.
well, that's where we're at.
Yeah, but in the Middle
yours,
East, they
and
probably
that's it.
don't get nearly the amount of shoplifting, knowing it might cost you a hand.
Sure. Yeah.
As here, where it's like encouraged.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
if
fine.
you don't
take it up
have
there and
any-
get it checked out. Although, there are those random things where they forget to do it. You accidentally.
Yeah,
you
you
get
don't
home,
wanna
you
blow
get the
that
jeans
guy
that
up.
still have the tag on them.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, that would suck to be in your car. You did everything right. You paid for everything. They forgot to take the bomb off.
You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, man. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, and they'll get better at it.
Yeah.
Over time. You're absolutely gonna break a few eggs early
Yep.
on.
Yep.
And
maybe it sends a signal. Hey, this bomb's about to go off. Did you mean to take this tag off or not? And they're like, oh yeah, no, fuck that, dude. Let it go.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, no, don't blow that guy up. That's my bad.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I don't know that we give them fair warning. Let's just assume they're guilty.
Yeah. No, I mean send them
Probably
back to the
guilty of
store.
something.
Send them back to the store. Hey, this bomb's about to go off on your tag.
Yeah, if you're not back in
Do
the
you
store in 3
acknowledge?
minutes.
Yeah. No, I don't mean the store has the ability to shut it off before it blows up. Never mind.
I wouldn't want them to use that technology.
Okay.
If nothing more, even if we blow up a few innocent people, it still sends a message: don't fuck around in our store.
Yeah.
You better be very careful about what you're doing in our store. We might blow you up.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't have to do it a lot.
Yeah.
Right. Just a couple of times. Send
They
a
call us
message.
target for a reason,
Exactly.
right? Whether that's a gun target.
Change it out to the target with like a crosshair through it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the new target.
Send a message. I'd still go there. You know why? Because I'm not stealing shit from Target.
Exactly right.
I'd
I feel much better about going there.
Yeah, I'd feel safe there. I'd feel welcome there. Yeah. Let's see. Thefts executed by packs of robbers have garnered attention during the crime wave of the past 2 years, with some retailers spending heavily on new security measures, or more likely just closing locations. That's
Yeah,
really
that's what's
what
going to
they're
happen
doing.
because you got to account for those losses.
Yeah,
So people are
Starbucks
gonna
is
start
doing
losing
it.
their
Target's
jobs.
doing it.
Exactly.
That one, I think it's Walgreens in San Francisco proper. So in the city, there's a store there that they just stopped restocking the shelves.
Once
It
it's
was
gone, it's
closing
gone.
down. Yeah, and so people would just come in, clean out the aisles. Security would hold the door open for you.
Yeah.
And these people would just walk out with their free shit. And it's like, yeah, we're not we're closing this location down. So whatever is, not stolen by next Wednesday, I guess we'll just throw away and then fuck it, we're out of here. So that whole neighborhood, and it's cool because each one of those little neighborhoods, it's kind of a fairly small city, San Francisco, 7 by 7, 49 square miles. That's it. And there's stores, a lot of these on every corner, and you can just walk to your local, market. You don't need a car, and it's like you start taking Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aids out of all these places. They're not going to like it.
No.
They're not going to like it. Hope it was worth it.
Yeah, that's where other people need to start stepping up and popping off.
Yeah. This is an industry-wide problem that is often driven by criminal networks, and we are collaborating with multiple stakeholders to find industry-wide solutions. For example, because stolen goods are often sold online, Target strongly supports the passage of legislation to increase accountability and prevent criminals from selling stolen goods through online marketplaces. I don't know how do you do that?
I mean, there's a way to track that stuff.
Is there?
Yeah, there's actually a guy on Facebook's got a great little. He does like little video clips or whatever. It's like shit. I'm pretty sure is stolen for sale on Marketplace, and he goes through like all these Marketplace ads. You know, yeah, one's like a Sam's Club like shopping cart. I saw it was like for $50. Like, you just fucking stole that from Sam's Club. How are you gonna sell it for $50?
That's hilarious.
Oh, somebody else, same thing. Like stacks and stacks of like laundry detergent. It's like, fuck, did you get that?
Yeah. Knock it off. You didn't go buy those at Costco.
One of those super couponers.
Right.
Got them all. Now we're gonna make a profit on it. I don't think so.
No.
Hey, this part of the show is brought to you by The Party Pub. If you want to impress everyone at your graduation party, wedding reception, poker night, MMA viewing party, or for any other reason, you need to contact The Party Pub. It's a massive inflatable pub that can be set up wherever you choose. They also have all the best party games, beanbag toss, badminton, giant inflatable screens, axe throwing, and much more. Call Jeff El Jefe at 586-524-6701 or visit thepartypubrentals.com and take your event to the next level. Tell them we sent you, and you get a 10% discount and 2 free games.
Very good.
Very, very good.
Very good. You know what I love, T? Going through Facebook videos. Like the reels, or they'll be like, videos for you.
Yep.
And I'll start scrolling, and anything Allison Chains comes up, I'm in.
Sure.
Anytime I can see Lane Staley singing, I'm in. There's some other ones. A lot of the ones that have pulled up lately are like America's Got Talent. And I don't really watch that show. I've watched some of them.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I don't. But, when you...
Jump the shark.
But when you get up there and you see someone who can really fucking sing, and they come out and they do some fucking awkward interview with the judges, and the judges are kind of rolling their eyes like, all right, let's see what this clown has.
They just get up and
they
belt.
just
blow you away.
Yeah, and you could see chicks in the crowd like wiping tears from their eyes and stuff.
Especially when you don't see it coming. Like it was a great one of that. I don't know if it was American Idol or America's Got Talent that he had, but it was a local guy, Lathel Sadi or whatever.
Okay.
But looks like a Muslim dude, big beard, grizzly-looking dude, whatever. But voice of an angel and an amazing musician. He plays around here all the time. He's still, he didn't win it, but it gave him a big boost. But same thing, like didn't see that coming.
Yeah, you thought he was going to come out and show you how to build a homemade bomb,
something. Right? I mean, but you just don't see it coming. So that's the beauty of those shows.
Yeah, and I got caught the other day going through a few of these on a loop, and I'm like, God, and it's like 10 minutes of super surprising, reactions you would have never seen from, whoever was taking the stage versus the judges and blah, blah, blah. And they're, some of them will give you fucking goosebumps downright.
Yeah.
Well, there was one, and I'll be honest, I sort of was like, come on. At first, when I saw it, I was like, this is ridiculous. And it's a Brazilian deaf mute trans girl. Yeah.
Whoa.
Trans woman.
Okay.
And I'm like, you got to be shitting me. This is a joke, and they're like, oh yeah, she sings. Is it he?
Wait.
She sings.
How do you sing if you're mute? Doesn't that mean you can't speak?
Well, Helen Keller found a way to communicate.
Well, yeah, but not by speaking.
Well,
I thought that's what isn't
deaf
that what
mute trans woman.
Yeah, isn't
Maybe
that what
she
mute
just
means?
identifies as mute.
That's possible.
She's identifying as a woman.
Yeah.
So this gentleman gets up and sings Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You," which is
Wow. So not only
fucking song,
yeah,
dude.
you tried to tackle Whitney.
Yeah.
That takes balls.
I Will Always Love You.
That takes balls.
Yeah. It does take balls. Big balls. But, I want to write this stuff off because I'm like, oh, come on. Stop throwing trans women at us and acting like, oh, God, this is super talented.
Sure.
But when you see talent,
it's undeniable.
And it's like the goosebumps. That's the first thing for me. I remember getting goosebumps as a kid.
Yeah.
Now I just get them when I'm cold, unless I see a video and you're just like,
you know it when you
don't
see it, when
coming.
you hear it.
Yeah, you don't see it coming, and then when it hits you, it's like, oh fuck. There's some really, really talented people out there that you don't know who they are.
It's true. That's the beauty of those shows. They find these undiscovered gems.
Yeah, which is great. You want to check her out?
I'd love to. Let's see.
Right.
Let's see how we do this. Can't wait. I'm a big Whitney fan. So.
Yeah, me too. I am. Always have been.
Let's see.
There you go.
Where's my guy go? There he goes.
She looks kind of hot too. Most trans women I don't say that about. She's a looker.
All right. So Brazilian deaf mute trans woman sings Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You."
Yeah.
Here we go.
Brazilian deaf mute trans woman sings Whitney Houston. I will always love you.
At least she doesn't know they're laughing at her.
Well,
She can't hear the laughter.
that's
Oh
adorable.
my God. I feel like the dogs in the neighborhood would be going ape shit right now.
Oh yeah.
That's what it sounds like. Howling dogs. What? It's not even like words. It's just going
Well, they did say she was deaf and mute, T.
Well,
It's pretty fucking good for a deaf mute.
how the fuck does she know what the song sounds like if she's deaf?
Vibrations.
There's no words coming out of that hole to do the lyrics of the song that you can't because you're a mute anyway.
Is this real or fake?
I don't know. Let's see. I mean, it looks real as far as the setup. It's a stage, audience, judges. It's probably like Brazil's Got Talent or whatever this is. And is this in those like? But see, even those like. I mean, the early auditions, I guess, where you don't control who comes out there, and, and this one slipped through the cracks. But I gotta bring it home. Oh my Lord!
Okay, I can't hear.
Oh my God!
I can't tell if that's real or fake.
I can't either. I'm going to assume that it's real on some level, and probably tons of people talking about how brave and how strong that person is for doing it.
Here's the problem. If this doesn't show you how far down the fucking hole we've gotten with wokeness and inclusion and equity.
Yeah. Let's find out if you got voted through to the next round or not.
Well, regardless, I know your point, but regardless, the fact is, you and I can watch that, go, probably fake, but I wouldn't put it past any one of these shows.
No, clearly not. No.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem I have is like, because it'd be very easy to take away the audio of that and just go, every time it opens its mouth. That gentleman there.
No, but see, that synced the mouth gestures and the groans that were coming out.
Yeah, did it?
Yeah, there were no words being spoken out of that mouth. There were no actual words.
Yeah,
it never closed. It was.
Do you think this thing was like had to ramp it up, like try it out for American Idol as just a deaf mute, and it was like, get the fuck out of here, weirdo.
Yeah, I don't know.
No one cares that you're a deaf mute. And you can't be offended by this because anybody who's a deaf mute is not listening to this show.
Allegedly.
So unless you pointed out what we've said, they'll never know. So I don't want to hear it. But if it was like, oh, deaf mute's not good enough.
Well, we
Sorry.
get closed captioning on YouTube.
Okay.
They're going to catch up.
Well, no. But if deaf mute's not enough, but then you throw trans woman in there.
Yep.
I mean, who's going to deny a deaf mute trans woman an opportunity?
That's why I say they jumped the shark anyway, because that America's Got Talent, which I used to really enjoy as a show. I thought it was a really, really well done show, because it wasn't just singing, it wasn't just dancing, it was a little bit of everything, and you got to see a lot of different, really talented people come through there, and I really believed it was based on, audience votes, and it was legit that way. But now it's gotten to the point where it doesn't matter it's all about their backstory. That's all that matters more than their performance.
You can tell who's going to go through.
Of course. When
when
there's a little production piece on them and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to play it up, and you have to say it every time, and you have to talk about it. And it's like, okay, well, this isn't America's Got the Best Sob Story. This is America's Got Talent.
It hit me because you were watching those pretty religiously, and I wasn't. And when I got back, one night we were sitting there and nothing on TV, and we're watching that, and they had some kid on there, and he kept going through, and he was like 12, and he played the violin or something.
Yeah.
And he wasn't great at the violin.
No.
Not at all. But he had cancer. He was a cancer survivor, and half his head was caved in or some shit.
Yep, right.
And he kept going through, and they're acting like this is the most brilliant act they've seen. It's like, well, okay, if this is Cancer Survivors Got Talent,
exactly.
Fine.
America's Got the Best Sob Story.
Right.
Of course.
But it was like, no, if you're trying to sell me on this guy being a brilliant musician, and you know what that means when you've got a 12-year-old Beethoven, Mozart, when you've got a prodigy on your hands.
This was a 50-year-old man out there playing that on violin. Would it be quite as impressive?
He'd be booed off stage.
Yeah.
The fact is, the only reason this kid got through the judges and into the voting system to where he was voted through and almost won the goddamn thing is because he had cancer.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like,
some poor guy that's uber talented but doesn't have any negatives going against him.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, I got laid off when I was 16 from a job. Does that count? No, I went to college. I
worried I was going to be homeless for a spell there.
Nope, not good enough. Okay, I guess I can't win this no matter how good I am.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Meanwhile, he's just the fucking most,
And that's what it used to be. It at least on some level. It's gotten worse as time's gone on.
Yeah.
It used to actually be based on the performance and the act that mattered.
Right.
And that was it. And it wasn't so focused on the backstory and the tragedies in these people's lives and highlighting that. And it's slowly gotten worse and worse and worse. That's why I've just cut it out of my life.
The other one was I think they were all black military choir or something.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Remember that? It was like, this
they were
is
not,
just...
Yeah, it was like three or four people, something like
that.
Two guys
they were all in the Air
something.
Force.
Yeah, some military something. And they weren't that good.
No.
They just
weren't. It was a giant blowjob to thank you for your service, which is great. No one's more welcoming and respectful of that community than we are.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you go on and, a stage as big as that and and play that out to its conclusion. Are these four fucking old black Army veterans gonna fill a fucking night after night theater in Vegas
to get in their year-long show in Vegas?
How boring of a show would that be?
Yes, exactly.
Horrible.
Yep.
Horrible. It's like I can see
they've
that.
missed the whole point of it.
Yeah. America's got a little bit of a talent and a sob story.
Exactly.
That would make more sense.
That's what it's become.
A little bit of talent, huge sob story. You're gonna love them. This kid's there's nothing better for you. If you want to break into entertainment, acting, there's nothing better for you than having your parents die and you get a disease.
Yep.
Like that's the ultimate.
If you're hey, listen, if you do have a kid with some sort of tragedy,
milk it.
Give them an instrument.
Yeah. They don't even have to play it.
No, don't be any good at it.
Yeah.
Milk it for all it's worth.
Yeah, give them a skin flute. Next thing you know, they're on America's Got Talent. Just killing it. One of my favorite new people, T. I love looking for heroes. There's heroes everywhere. They don't have to just be on a stage or on a field somewhere.
They don't all wear capes, as they say.
They don't all wear capes. And this is one of my heroes, Amir Farsood, 54 years old.
All right.
He's a Canadian man.
Oh, good day.
You like him already, don't you?
A little bit.
He was facing eviction.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
And he was looking at homelessness. And he was like, I'd rather be dead than homeless. So I'm going to apply for that new law and where they can euthanize me.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, now you're thinking.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah. He'd rather die. He applied for the drastic measure after the rooming house where he lives was put on the market. Farsood lives with debilitating, untreatable back pain, which allowed him to qualify for Canada's controversial Medical Assistance in Dying program, known as MAID.
All right.
M-A-I-D, Medical Assistance in Dying. But it wasn't his pain that drove his decision, but rather his prospects of homelessness after Canada's social services failed to provide him support. He received one of the 2 doctor signatures required to be accepted by the MAID program and expected to be euthanized this month.
Well, they move right along. That's the fastest thing that Canadian medical fucking industry's done in a long time.
Right?
Right? Yeah, no problem. We'll get to you in about 3.5 years.
Oh, you need knee replacement?
Yeah.
See you in 2036.
Free healthcare.
Yeah, it's all free.
Yeah.
Awesome, right?
But
It's
they'll
just
jump
Cuba.
right on it if you want to get whacked, huh?
Yeah, they know they're just a needle away.
Okay.
Just send you out. They don't have to fucking discharge you.
Sure.
They can just have the coroner pick you up. It's
Unclog
great.
the system. It's win-win.
Here's the problem. His story makes headlines in Canada. You know, it's like, oh, this guy wants to kill himself rather than be homeless. So some bitch starts a GoFundMe, raises 60 grand for the dude.
Oh, man.
And he's like, I feel like living now.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, until that 60 grand's gone.
Until he gets that second signature, and then he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah. And then they just drag him out of his...
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
You're coming with us, pal. So, he said with his chronic back pain, he was likely to die in the streets anyway, so he figured he may as well end his life the easy way.
Yeah.
I know, in my present health condition, I wouldn't survive it anyway. I wouldn't. It wouldn't be at all dignified waiting. So if that becomes my 2 options, it's pretty much a no-brainer. I'm with you, Farood. I am. Farsood, excuse me. Said despite his pain, if he had an affordable and dependable place to live, he wouldn't even be close to it yet to considering euthanasia. It would be on my radar because my physical condition is only going to get worse. At that point, I'd probably be availing myself of the option, but that would be presumably years down the road. He thinks it's backwards. I think in a country such as ours, people shouldn't be hungry and shouldn't be worried about whether there's a roof over their head. I think we actually have the wherewithal for that not to be an issue, and that we are choosing to not help the most vulnerable members of the society, and that's tragic. Well, the problem is so many of you vulnerables have just taken advantage of the system.
That's correct.
You know what I mean? Like it was one thing when there was just a handful of them and you could actually make some headway with social services. Now, when you multiply that by hundreds of thousands, you're fucked. You're held hostage by these people.
Yep.
You know, they've made great headway in some smaller metropolises where the homeless problem hasn't gotten as out of control.
Yeah.
When you're talking about a few thousand, when you get into California, you're done. There's no fixing that.
No, God, no.
There's no fixing that. So, yeah. So, like I said, this bitch named Effie set up a GoFundMe for him. 60 grand was enough to put a roof over his head and change his mind over ending his life.
Well, till that runs out, and then we'll do it again. We'll start the process all over again.
He'll be back. That 60 grand won't last long.
Not going to last long.
Probably blown through half of it already anyways. You know, my guess is Farsood's not dynamite with his money, which no judgment being passed here.
Sure.
Me either.
Go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
Do it right.
Exactly. All right. Should we get some email?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see here. Jeez. You abortion-loving, baby-killing liberals. Sorry to trigger you. Please don't post-birth abort me. Anyway, I'll go $10 per made free throw for the Komen Foundation.
Oh,
Tell me where to send it and how much, and don't use my name. Gracias.
wow. Well, it was 97. I don't have video evidence of that, but it was 97.
Would you like to reach out?
I will
Sure,
absolutely.
they could go for nearly $1,000.
Yeah, no doubt. If that's actually real, I will definitely follow up with that.
Yeah.
And thank you. You're the only one that actually responded to that. So
Hey, it only takes one.
I already sent my money in.
All right. Let's see. Muff Potter and Injun Joe.
Oh, hi, NFL Bob.
Still don't know what that means.
Still don't know
He
what's
still
going on
hasn't
with this.
explained it.
No, I know.
On Sonnet 1662, T-Roy mentioned his religious dabblings from a few years ago and said it was part of his journey. Forgive me, but I just can't picture the badass baritone electrician being on a journey. Doesn't seem to fit. But then I remembered he listens to NPR, which indicates to me he is still on his journey. Good day, sirs. I said good day. You're humble and obedient.
Life
Servant,
is
NFL
a journey,
Bob.
Bob.
P.S. Just got another sweet whip from Zot Ford.
Attaboy.
My man.
Very nice.
Attaboy.
There you go. That's important. The life is a journey, buddy.
Are you still on your journey?
Yeah, we all are, man.
Okay.
Of course we are.
All right. Is that why you listen to NPR? Is that part of your journey?
Nope.
Okay. Just checking.
You know, how dare I educate myself?
Okay. This is from a gentleman named Jason. Miguel, I know you and T-Roy are down on the new Star Wars stuff, but the new show Andor, you guys need to check it out. It's all practical special effects, very limited CGI. It takes 3 episodes, shut up, to really warm up, but it's probably the darkest and best written Star Wars show. Takes place before Rogue One, before the start of the true height of the Empire. The Empire is more run like a business and Gestapo. It shows the start of the rebellion. Check it out.
Okay. Hey, if it's your thing, it's your thing. That's fine.
It's not T's thing, though.
No, it's not my thing.
not
And the
his
fact
thing.
that even if that is a decent show, it's still bastardized beyond repair.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, if I get bored,
Sure.
nothing is past me watching it.
no, of course
honestly,
not.
So
Yeah, I'm not saying it's all trash. What I'm saying is that
most of it is. Though.
it's just used and abused.
Yeah. Well, it's funny how there's the amount of black characters and gay characters in the Star Wars world now. Mm-hmm. Who knew?
Yeah.
So you would have to answer the question: where did they go?
Yeah, if we're gonna put this timeline together,
Like there was
this
shit
is
tons of
pre the
gays and
Empire.
blacks.
Yeah. Maybe the Empire killed them all.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, maybe that's the next.
So Vader's Hitler? Is that what you're saying? Because that's the only way it would make sense.
That makes total sense now.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah. You'd have to answer that small question. Like, where did they all go?
Yeah. When we
What
get done with
happened
this,
to
you want to go binge that?
No.
Me neither.
We can't shut it down, though. I am freezing my balls
Yeah,
off, dude.
I-
It is so fucking cold down here.
Doing the little pee-pee dance.
Yeah. I got to pee, too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. We'll kill it there. We'll do more this weekend, and we'll circle back with Greg. I really want to see if the Lions can get to 3 wins in a row and see what that son of a bitch says then. And I don't want to keep Troy on a microphone. I don't want to be in the same room with him for much longer. So we're too close.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a pee-pee's dance. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy your time. Thank you for hanging with us. We'll do it again shortly here. Hopefully you'll join us.